And on to our top focus this hour. Thanks so much for that, Siddharth. Viewers, this is what it looks like when a country whose sole aim, in fact, the sole state policy is to bleed India through 1,000 cuts, and it's now paying for its sins. Look at what's happening in Pakistan today. The country's former Prime Minister is facing an arrest and claims that there's a threat to his life. Supporters of Imran Khan have descended to the streets across the country in protest against their police. From water cannons to tear gas, there's all-out chaos in the country over Imran Khan's possible arrest today.
ये लंदन प्लान का हिस्सा है मुझे जेल में डालने का। इससे कोई कानून का ताल्लुक नहीं है, ना इसमें मैंने कोई जुर्म किया है। सिर्फ और सिर्फ इसके पीछे बदनीयती है। मैं इसलिए अपनी आज सारी कौम को बता रहा हूं कि फिर से वो तैयार है, फिर से उन्होंने आना है, फिर से हमारे लोगों के ऊपर टेयर गैसिंग और ये सब कुछ करेंगे। लेकिन पता होना चाहिए कि इनके पास अब कोई जवाब नहीं है। वादे किए गए नवाज शरीफ से, वादा ये किया गया कि अगर हमें बैक करेंगे तो मैं आपको ये करके दूंगा, जिसमें इमरान खान को जेल में डालूंगा, पीटीआई को खत्म करूंगा, नवाज शरीफ को सारे केसेस खत्म करूंगा। ये प्लान था पूरा। ये प्लान बड़ी देर से पता है, मैं बताता जा रहा हूं आप सबको। उस प्लान के तहत ये गेम चल रही थी।
All right, let's go across to Colonel S Dinny, who's joining us for more on this. He's a defense analyst. Colonel Dinny, what's going on in Pakistan, many would say, is something that people have been predicted for a long time. On the one hand, you have a policy, vis-a-vis India, where they're trying to bleed India with 1,000 cuts. But look at where they are today, economically speaking, standing with 1,000 katoras instead. Request you to unmute yourself and continue speaking, please, Colonel Dinny.
The number. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Madhav, what I was saying that, as many predicted, or, that the state of Pakistan is what, that ultimately it will be a street battle, and exactly what is happening right now, and absolutely whom to blame? Themselves. And the kind of messages today even Imran Khan was trying to give, he's trying.
Well, I think we have a problem there with Colonel S Dinny's line. We'll try and rectify that. But you can see the chaos on the streets where the police have tried to approach the residence of Imran Khan. There's been day after day drama where court orders have, as per the police, not been implemented due to the chaos created by the supporters of the PTI, that is Imran Khan's party, who virtually surrounded his residence, preventing the cops from carrying out court orders. Meanwhile, they've approached the High Court, which has granted some amount of relief, but not before there was significant injuries to his supporters, where you can see the chaos following, in fact, stone pelting, and in fact the police trying to curb the law and order situation on ground there in Islamabad and in other cities, whether it's Karachi, whether it's Lahore or the capital. It's a different location, but the same story that is being repeated all over. Supporters of the PTI clashing with cops, and the larger question is what really is happening. In fact, the Prime Minister of India had predicted what was happening on ground there in Pakistan in the past. But the larger question is what's happening on ground as far as Pakistan is concerned, and the extremely sorry state that the country finds itself in, internationally speaking, with no one, not even close friend China, willing to bail them out of the current financial crisis. Let's listen into some reactions that have been coming in on the story.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, इय्याका नअबुदु व इय्याका नस्तईन। मेरे पाकिस्तानियों, पुलिस मुझे जेल में पकड़ने के लिए आ गई है बाहर, और उनका यह ख्याल है कि जब इमरान खान जेल में चला जाएगा तो कौम सो जाएगी। आपने इनको गलत साबित करना है। आपने ये साबित करना है कि ये जिंदा कौम है, ये मोहम्मद मुस्तफा नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की उम्मत है, ये ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह के नारे के ऊपर बनने वाली कौम है। आपने अपने हकूक के लिए, हकीकी आजादी के लिए आपने जदोजहद करनी और निकलना बाहर। मैं आपकी ये जंग लड़ रहा हूं। मैं तो अपनी सारी जिंदगी जंग लड़ी और लड़ता रहूंगा, लेकिन अगर मुझे कुछ होता है या जेल में जाता हूं, ये मार देते हैं, तो आपने ये साबित करना है कि इमरान खान के बगैर भी ये कौम जदोजहद करेगी, और ये बदतरीन गुलामी इन चोरों की, और ये जो एक आदमी फैसले कर रहा है इस मुल्क के, ये कभी आप कबूल नहीं करेंगे।
All right. And, Colonel Dinny, extremely, many would say perhaps not even surprising that what a former Prime Minister is trying to do through those video messages is actually inciting the crowd against a court order. Now, this is something that any law-abiding country would find absolutely incredulous and incredible. But, when it comes to Pakistan, perhaps there are no more surprises.
Madhav, I can just hear my own voice, your voice, there's some echo, but I'll try to answer what you asked, if you can hear me.
We can, please go ahead.
What Imran Khan is trying to do is he's trying to, provoke the civilians to exploit the potential of the civilians. Rather, what he's trying to do is he's trying to exploit, one is the frustration is already there on ground because of various factors, because of the kind of economic crisis in Pakistan is, and secondly, he is also trying to exploit the religious kind of sentiment which he always tries to unleash. So combining this, the frustration because of the economic crisis and the religious angle, he is trying to bring the Pakistan state into a standstill, whereby even if he is arrested, the protest in Pakistan continues, and he's like he's not treating this as a politician, but he's treating this as a cricketer who's wanting to fight till the last ball. So which is actually the tragedy is that this is in the is not at all in the interest of Pakistan state, and he doesn't seem to be worried about that. So that is what it is, and what is going to happen is now the state is going to put its entire might to get Imran Khan, and that probably would lead into much more bloodshed and violence, which we'll see.
The larger question, though,
it is just the tip of the iceberg, Madhav. As I can see, things are going to get worse.
Right. No, Colonel Dinny, but notwithstanding Pakistan's existing policy of bleeding India with 1,000 cuts, and now, of course, going through the economic turmoil, political turmoil, all sorts of unrest that we are seeing taking place on ground. At the end of the day, this is an issue of concern for India because, Pakistan going from unstable to more unstable is certainly a matter of concern for us here in the country as well.
Absolutely, Madhav. There is no doubt that it is a matter of concern for us. I think a stable Pakistan is a migraine for India. Unstable Pakistan is an even more dangerous thing for India. So I think, coming to that, there is no doubt that an unstable Pakistan is, it is not something which, we will look at it things lightly. As I'm sure people will be there focusing on the issues happening there very, very closely, because we know that whenever there is a crisis in Pakistan, most of the time we have seen that they try to divert the attention by activating the line of control or actions inside Kashmir or even inside India. So in that sense, and also to the fact that this time the crisis is just not linked with the army alone. There are people on the streets who are genuinely frustrated. So I don't know how those things will manifest itself. So definitely India would be worried, and I'm sure we will be looking at things very, very closely.
And there's also a history to this. The reason why this is not entirely unsurprising is the fact that, Colonel Dinny, we have seen how in the past the former prime ministers have gone through extremely harrowing times when they've lost power. We know what has happened with Nawaz Sharif. We know what has happened as far as even Benazir Bhutto had to pay for her life while campaigning on the streets of Pakistan is concerned. So, this regime change where the army has a major role to play in Pakistan, unlike India, where there's a very clear separation between the army and the entire democratic process, perhaps at some level has a major role to play in what's happening on ground.
Yeah, if I can understand that question rightly, you're asking about the army's role, because there's a lot of disturbance in what you said. What I understood was, yes, definitely, see, this is not the first time these kind of incidents are happening in Pakistan. That is why, as I said at the start, but not many are surprised. This is something which everybody was expecting, that this is going to end or this is going to, pan out like this, exactly like what we see today. Because there is a history to it. There has been prime ministers who have been hanged, there have been prime ministers who have been jailed, there are the people who have been thrown out. So these things are very natural to what is happening inside Pakistan. So therefore, there is not that kind of a surprise what is happening. But what is surprising is that, not many times the prime minister or ex-prime minister is trying to incite the crowd to such a level that there will be violence.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I don't think Pakistan or Pakistan state will be able to take that kind of a thing which is going to happen. He's literally split the country into two. And there is a state and there is Pakistan, Imran Khan's supporters. So therefore, that I don't know how
All right.
how to something which is this time different from what happened earlier.
All right, Colonel Dinny, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your perspective. Let's now, in fact, go across to Pakistan, where PTI leader Abida Bibi is joining us at the moment. I'd like to welcome you to Times Now. And in fact, let me begin by asking you, ma'am, as far as the Pakistan court is concerned, which has now ordered to stop the operations at Zaman Park, what do you have to say about the court relief?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी हम कोर्ट के बहुत ज़्यादा शुक्रगुजार हैं कि उन्होंने रिलीफ दिया है और ऑर्डर किया है कि ये रोक दें। हमें बड़ी उम्मीद थी अदालतों से और वो हो गया है कि इस ऑपरेशन को रोकने का ऑर्डर हो गया है, लेकिन आप ये देखते हैं कि ये ऑर्डर उसके ऊपर अमल भी करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं।
लेकिन सवाल ये उठता है कि these operations have only been halted till 10 AM tomorrow. तो आपकी अगली स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होगी? क्योंकि आरोप ये है, जो आरोप है इमरान खान के खिलाफ, वो अभी भी मौजूद हैं।
मैं आपको बता रही हूँ कि ये जितने भी केसेस हैं ये जाली बनाए गए हैं। देखिए पाकिस्तान के अंदर 13 जमातें जो हैं वो एक साइड पे हो गई हैं, पीडीएम एक मुरब्बा बना लिया। आप खुद सोचें कि एक जमात के लिए, एक शख्स के लिए, इमरान खान के लिए 13 जमातें क्यों इकट्ठी हुई हैं? क्योंकि वो डरते हैं कि अवाम इनके साथ है और अवाम पाकिस्तान की बाशऊर है और उनको पता है कि उन्होंने क्या करना है। अभी ये जो डरे हुए हैं वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ इलेक्शन अनाउंस हो गया पंजाब के अंदर, इनको पता है कि पंजाब में 2/3 मेजॉरिटी से दोबारा से हम आ जाएंगे पीटीआई, उसके लिए सारी चीजें हो रही हैं। और खान साहब के ऊपर जितने भी केस है इन्होंने 75 बना दिए, अभी वो सब के सब जाली केस हैं। हुकूमत है वो FIR हर जगह काटती जा रही है।
जी आबिदा बीबी जी, आपके साथ इनफैक्ट टू थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस। सर्टनली ऑफ कोर्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टाइम, a huge challenge for Imran Khan, perhaps his biggest challenge yet politically, given that he's not in power, but of course his supporters have given a huge headache for the powers that be there in Pakistan, and Imran Khan certainly indicating that he's not going to go down without a fight, and the kind of unrest that we're seeing on the streets of Pakistan, a very clear sign of what's happening over there on ground. In fact,